from the News Channel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper. This is Out and About Today, sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Hello, I'm Brett Meredith, and welcome to a very special edition of Out and About Today. It's Pride Preview 2018. We're covering all things National Pride throughout the show. We'll be looking at National Pride's entertainment lineup, and helping us is one of last year's headliners, Ty Herndon. We'll close out the show by chatting with National Pride Board member Phil Cabucci. But first, I'm joined by Chuck Long, James Grady, and Zach Woodward for tonight's Buzz About. Welcome, literally, guys. How are y'all? Where's Pam, by the way? She's still on vacation?
She's back in the closet back there.
Oh, okay. So she says she's going to show up for Pride, so maybe we'll see her there. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet we do.
Speaking of Pride, of course, that's why we're here. Pride Preview. Can you guys believe it's the 30th anniversary? Pride is now older than you, Zach.
I got to get special booty shorts made.
You do?
I'm serious about it.
Right?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Pride is like one of my favorite events throughout the entire year, so I'm pumped.
Well, tell me then, so I will start with you since you're so pumped. Tell me about your very first Pride Festival. Was it Nashville or was it another city?
My very first Pride Festival was here in Nashville, and the first time I ever went, I actually hosted the stage, and it was on my birthday, and so like literally we had the entire crowd singing happy birthday to me, and I was just like, how do I ever live my life the same?
Okay, who wants to follow that Pride story?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
How was your first Pride Festival?
My very first Pride was only about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And it was Nashville, and I brought my 4-year-old, and so that was kind of neat. He met the sisters and was absolutely terrified.
Really? Okay, the Sisters Perpetual Indulgence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, a bunch of clown nuns. So he was really, really scared.
Now he can't wait to come see them, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Chuck?
Actually, my first was in LA, so I had just come out.
No big
So,
deal.
well, drop that name. But yeah, I had just come out, and so LA's Pride was right before Nashville's. And actually, a good friend, Del Shores, we went out to see him, and he's like, "We're going to Pride."
Yeah.
And I mean, for somebody just coming out, and LA's the first Pride, I mean, you know, it's several days, and it's huge and all. But then, I mean, Nashville's has really become exciting. Yeah.
Well, and if I may interject my own question, my first one wasn't Pride, but it was probably my second or third. First was Atlanta, and similar, not necessarily LA Pride, but large, hundreds of thousands of people. Then, you know, fast forward to the next year, we're at Pride here in Nashville at the War Memorial Plaza, and it's like, I'm sorry,
it's Centennial Park.
Centennial Park,
Yeah.
thank you. And there's like a few hundred people, and we're like, what the heck? You know, we deserve more than that.
Yeah.
And now 20 years later, we're competing. We've got thousands of people, multiple days. So it's really been cool to see the last 20 of these 30 years, and I just dated myself. So
I won't tell anyone.
So as more and more allies attend, though, who would you invite now that maybe you wouldn't have invited before? Does that make sense? So, like, you know, that first Pride, you probably wouldn't have invited your grandma to come to that, but maybe you would have invited somebody in your family. Chuck, anybody?
Well, you know, it's interesting, just kind of looking at some of those questions about who would you bring that you wouldn't have invited before. Yeah, there's probably a lot of friends and family that I would now invite.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, people though that looked down on you before. I mean, to me, Pride is such a celebration. I don't want to bring them trying to convince them of anything.
You don't want any Debbie Downers.
Like, you stay home.
If they haven't figured it out yet, right?
Exactly.
Amen.
Yeah. Anybody that you would bring? Any other family?
Gosh, if she was still around, I would bring my great-grandmother.
Would you? She would
love it. She would absolutely love it.
It's always the grandparents that seem to get it, because they're just, at that age, they're just like, you know what, it's all just crazy.
Have fun,
be yourself.
Yeah.
So there is a couple of events, new events this year, and one I wanted to make sure we mentioned, and I'm sure you guys have probably heard of this. So the TEP Foundation is doing their first pink and purple party. Say that 3 times fast. You're looking at me cross-eyed.
I don't know what that means.
Well, we've got a little graphic we'll throw up here that's got a little bit more information, but it's on June 22nd. There it is. It's going to be at Center 615 on Main Street. Let's see, it says start your Pride weekend with cocktails and music. Mark your calendars for Nashville's biggest and best party. Join the TEP Foundation for the first annual Pink and Purple Pride pre-party. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of alliteration.
Nice fun cocktails before it all starts.
I won't criticize
and we
them.
have to wear pink and purple, right?
Yeah, pink and or purple, and it can be anything. Purple hair, pink hair, purple shoes, just pink and purple, whatever you can throw together. I won't criticize them for calling it first annual, but we'll get onto that later.
And just the background, right? This is inspired by one of the biggest fundraisers for Colorado version of TEP.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a newcomer in Nashville, and the name is escaping me right now, but he was involved in establishing what started as a house party and quickly became one of Colorado's biggest equality fundraisers.
Really?
The Purple Party.
Okay.
We've got pictures in this month's issue of him with the governor of Colorado, and so this event, you know, with such an organizer here, we decided to bring it to Nashville apparently. So
awesome. Well,
we need the governor to show up.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. It would be be a stretch, maybe. You think?
Governor Haslam, not as big a stretch as say Governor she who shall not be named.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. We don't even. Will not say. Oh,
so
gosh.
that is a new event, but there's been, several events throughout the years, and I always try to talk about one of my favorites, and I just still won't bring it back, but the Pride Skate Night. We used to do that every year. That was one of my favorites. But what are some of the events outside of the festival that you guys like to attend? I mean, there's Martinis and Jazz.
It's a big one. To me, that is such a fun one, and all. Everybody's there, and they're ready to have a good time, and it's just celebratory, and it just seems like I haven't been in the last couple of years, but the ones I went to, I just loved.
Well, in fact, 2 years ago, I got Zach to go for the first time.
Yeah,
and it was at East Ivy, right?
Fun.
It was fun.
They had a silent auction. They had the best drinks. But let me just say about the lineup, I'm so excited for JoJo. I just had to say it. Like, when they announced that JoJo was playing, I literally started crying. My cheekbones were on my chin. It was really dramatic.
Oh, then girl, you need to listen to Chuck's next segment then with Ty Herndon. They're going to talk all things about the entertainment. They're going to cover all that. But I similarly was excited, And
Wilson Phillips. I mean, what a lineup's coming up. Oh, my God. And Shelley Wright's going to be, So, it's going to be good.
But to pull it back to events, Chuck, have you ever been to Spirituality Night?
Yes.
Is that a...
I think it's a good thing. It's a whole amalgam of just kind of spirituality, faith from different faith and spiritual organizations around town. Everybody kind of gets to show off their best in a song or a verse or a speech or something like that. But that was the first time I saw the sisters myself was at Spirituality Night, and so and that was an eye opener, and it was good. It just you see how diverse the whole community
and
is.
how well attended it is. I mean, they filled Wiggum the chapel at Vandy.
Bitten Chapel.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I like the smaller events. I've been I think every year to Family Feud at Tribe, which is a little. They have all the organizations in town usually send a little team and they compete against each other.
We have to go.
And we could totally win.
We should play as a family.
I'm serious.
Oh, before we get out of here, I want you to talk about the Pride Guide. Anything special in the Pride Guide?
We've got some good interviews with some of the entertainers.
Okay.
We've got some book events and things coming up. Greg Howard is in there, absolutely. And we've got some pictures from the good old days.
I'm excited.
And Brent mentioned dating himself and mentioned a skating event, and I believe there may be some pictures of a very baby Brent.
There are.
Yes.
There are. In addition to, did you put the one in where we were in the swimsuit issue of the scene? Did I send you that one? You can't disclose yet?
I can't disclose, but what I will say is look online for a picture of Joey Brown looking really young.
And it's the biggest ever, right?
It is. It's 72 pages. 72 pages this year. So it's a big one.
Congratulations. I know that didn't come easy.
It did not.
That's why his eyes are just barely open.
We got more. We got to get out of here. We're out of time. But when we come back, Chuck and Ty Herndon dish on this year's Nashville Pride Entertainment lineup. Stay right here.